Hello all. Welcome to I Love Ruby playlist. So in till last video, I think we saw about strings in Ruby and all those stuff. So where is it? Okay, we saw till strings. So today we are going to see like how to use text editor to write Ruby programs and all those stuff. For simple one-line stuff or some simple calculation, Ripple is okay, or the interactive Ruby or the IRB is okay. But in reality, yeah, almost every Ruby program is run as a text file, and the Ruby interpreter operates on it, and it just runs the text file, and it puts output to something. Okay, so if it's a web application, it puts output to that WebSocket or that port or something like that. If it's a command line application, it puts output to command line. If it's a GUI, it paints something on your monitor, computer monitor, and all those stuff. Okay, so today we'll see how to use text editor. So in this video I have, okay, like in what to say, over here in my book, like I've said about Genie is available in all operating systems, but I found that okay, on Mac TextMate is really good, so I installed that, and that's okay. And there is also other IDs which you can use. Okay, so let me just tell you. So there is a ID called atom.io or atom editor. So this is, I would have said in a previous video also, like, so this has been done by GitHub, but GitHub has been bought by Microsoft. There is another thing, a very popular thing called VS Code, right? So VS Code, this one is by Microsoft itself. So that's the thing. So suddenly it might go really commercial, and they might do some tricky stuff to lock you in and all those things. So you need to be careful about that when you're using Microsoft products, right? So that's the thing. But Atom, I think there is some amount of free software culture is there. And if you want to know what is free software culture, please go to fsf.org, and you will be okay. Like this is a movement that was formed to what to say, preserve user rights, and because like we run all sort of softwares when we run computers, right? So but the thing is, like, most companies like Microsoft, Apple, and all, they don't give the source of this software, and you don't have the opportunity to tinker it, to understand how it works, and what to say, to modify it and give it to your friends. Like if you find a bug, you can modify free software and give it to your friends. With Microsoft, Apple, or Oracle, or any other proprietary company's software, you don't have that option. So this foundation was founded so that, like, users possibly one day can use just free software and get away, and so that, like, they have 100% control over their computers, rather than some companies controlling their computers and all those things. Okay, so that's the thing, right? Yeah, do visit it. Even if you say like, okay, look, I'm a Mac user, I don't care about you, my rights on my computer, and I trust Tim Cook or Steve Jobs or whatever it is, or I trust Bill Gates and he's the god and all those stuff. Please do visit fsf.org, right? So it'll be an eye-opening experience, right? So yeah, let's use text editor. Okay, I told about Atom and VS Code, and I used a thing called TextMate. So because I'm using a Mac, right? So uh, okay, right. So I use this thing called TextMate. I could have used Atom. I do have Atom in my system, but the thing is, like, Atom gives autocomplete and all those stuff, which is not good for learning Ruby. Okay, so since I'm putting a learning course, I don't want to use a very advanced text editor and give you a feeling that you can also use it and all those stuff. Okay, don't use an advanced editor when you learn stuff. Okay, so that's the thing. So first thing is, let us keep a program called, okay, let us keep a folder, so right, uh, Ruby, let me name it as Ruby, uh, why it's not getting renamed, rename. Okay, okay, right, okay. So this is TextMate. So let me just copy this stuff and put it. Okay, put as hello world and put as this time I use text editor, right? So I'm just copying it and putting it over here. Of course, the highlight is not there. So let me make it bigger. I can do it in almost any text editor by pressing Command plus or whatever that Windows key plus or Tux key or whatever things you are using, right? Let me just save it, right? And okay, let me go to my desktop, Ruby, and let me save it as hello world dot rb, right? Okay, so I just saved it and all those stuff. Now I just need to run it. So let me just go to my desktop and Ruby, right? And I'll just put Ruby and then what to say, hello world dot Ruby, right? And it prints hello world. This time I use text editor. Okay, so whatever you gave over here, it prints faithfully, right? So that's what happens, right? So yeah, let me try to hide my dock because it's occupying a lot of space. Okay, right. Okay, so this is how you will type something in your text editor and do it. Even I discourage you from copying and pasting from a book because only if you type you will do some mistakes, and only if you do mistakes you will learn, right? Okay, so okay, so this is where I just explained, like, okay, like, okay, there is a thing called put as difference between put as and print. Okay, so let us put print and see, right? Okay, so let me just save this as, okay, let me put another file. Okay, so rather than put as, I'm just giving it as print. Okay, I'll name it as hello world underscore one. Usually files and all programming files, you don't use spaces, you give underscore and you just name it. All Ruby files should be named with an extension .rb. Actually, it's not necessary. You could give any extension, and if you just give like, okay, Ruby hello world .xyz, it'll still work. But for a text editor to identify and for it to put all this color things and look, the Ruby keywords are kind of dark blue in color, and the strings are green in color. If you're using a different text editor, it might be in different color. Today, text editors have themes also. So if you vary the theme, you can get, you can possibly select a theme that's matching close to your, what to say, taste or something like that. So oh, now I've just given like, okay, like hello world one, there's a program, and instead of put as, I've given a print. So let me execute, right? Ruby, okay, right. Hello world one dot rb. Yes, so this is what happens if you use a print. Okay, so the thing over here is like, okay, like, yeah, hello world gets printed out, and then what happens is like, the next print also gets printed in the same line. In fact, there is a space between the exclamation mark and O over here because I left a space over here. So if you can see, I just left a space over here, right? So that's the difference between what to say, print and put as. Put as prints something and it puts a new line. Print doesn't do it. Okay. Possibly you can do something like this. Okay, like I can put something like, okay, like print hello world and then slash n and what to say, and now what will happen is, right, yeah, okay, let me put it in a new file, right? Okay, yeah, let me just put it like this. Okay, so I'm just putting a slash n over here. I'm just saving it. So hello world 2.rb. Right, okay, so now I'm just running this hello world 2.rb, And look, I'm getting a new line because of this slash n. That is the escape sequence. Slash n means a new line, right? So that's how it is. So in fact, you can use print to kind of mimic potes or something like that. But yeah, that's the thing. So right. Now we'll see like okay how to get an input and all those stuff. So right. So this okay. I'll just put a new file. So now what I just do is like, yeah, there will be option in almost all text editors to change the programming language. So let me change it as Ruby. So now let me copy and paste it. Look, I'm copying and pasting because I know Ruby very well, right? And I wrote this book. I don't recommend a new guy copying and pasting. I definitely don't recommend. Type it with your own hands. Do mistakes. You might leave something out like this, and you might leave something out like this. You might get an error. You will pull your hair out, almost literally, and what to say, and then you will figure out. Then what happens is then your learning kicks in, and the next time you won't do this error, or even if you do it, you will identify it easily. So that's the thing, right? So okay, over here I haven't saved the file, but I've kept it as Ruby, and it color codes. Okay, so that's the thing. But yeah, anyway, we need to save it to execute it. So let me rename it as hello. Okay, let me name it as hello world 3. Okay, no, no, no. What name I gave in my book? Say hello.rb. Okay, say hello.rb. Okay, let me execute it and explain it. Okay, so Ruby say hello.rb. Okay, so it puts hello, I'm Zygor, automated robot that says hello. Okay, so this gets printed out, and so since we have put s, it enters a new line, right? Now we put print, please enter your name. So since we haven't put anything slash n or we didn't put s, it just what to say stays in the same line. So now you can put your name over here. So I'll just put my name Karthik. Okay, and it says hello Karthik. So now you need to see these two lines. Okay, so what this thing does is okay, so this one prints, okay, and it comes to next line. Okay, so over here name has been assigned to something, equal to is assignment in what to say Ruby. So this getters, it prompts for your input. So it came and it waited for us over here, right? So it prompts us to type something and press enter. That's what getters does. And whatever data getters gathers over here, it's Karthik, that's been passed to this variable name because of this equal to operator. Okay, so it goes from usually left to right. So even in Ruby, if you just put like okay, a is equal to 5 means okay, this goes from left to right, right? So 5 goes from left to right, that is to a. So that's what happens over here, right? And then I think you know about the string interpolation operator, like interpolation. Oh, I don't know what the thing is, like the embed stuff in string. Okay, so you just get the name and you just embed this into string. Okay, so and it gets printed out. Okay, so you can also okay. There is a thing called comments in Ruby. So if you just do this, this line won't get executed, right? So okay, I'll just enter some name. Nothing happens because I've commented out. You can even put it something like this, okay, but I just did it in a way that which I feel more comfortable. Hello. Okay, let's name, right? You can even put it like this, okay, right? Uh, okay, right. Okay, I'm just putting some name. Yeah, it works the same, and you can also put it like this. Okay, right. Something like this. Hello without any space, and then you can put something like this and name, and yeah, you need to plus. Okay, so you can also do it like that. Okay, some name, and yeah, you got it right. Oh, there are many ways to do it. Okay, and I'll also tell another way, but It's not recommended till the time I go to arrays, but yeah, let me just tell something, right? Right, you can also do it something like this. In fact, rather than putting plus, this thing they say works faster. Okay, so I'm not a what to say this expert like making things faster and all those expert and all, but I read it in a book. Somehow computer costs are going down, 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 and no matter whatever programs I write, I just scale up servers and it works. Okay, right? So it still works. So this is also like string concatenation, right? So that's how it is. Okay, so that's how you just put it in text editor and you execute it. Okay, and yeah, I also told you about comments. Okay, so you can write this program with a lot of comments. The hash means comments. Oh god, I have used not so good language. Okay, yeah, so I don't want to go into it. Okay, right. Okay, yeah, so there is some funny comments or something like that. And what happens is like, okay, I'll just put, okay, right. Possibly a very honest software developer, I just think. The guy who wrote this program, right? Say hello with comments.rb, right? So that's the thing, right? So whatever you put is a comment, like whatever follows this hash sign is a comment. It doesn't get executed, right? You can look. You might be smarter today and write a real good program, but possibly 6 months down the line, you might not be so smart. And so at the time, if you need to debug this program or change it or something, your life could be hell. So uh, put something valid or don't put comments like this because if somebody reads or your boss reads, you'll be fired. But put something valid comments or something like that. This thing does some tricky stuff, and this is the tricky stuff that's been done, and all those stuff. This comments will be ignored. So finally, the Ruby will see programs without comments. So it will see something like okay, not okay, like it will see something like this one. Okay, so where is say hello? Yeah, so Ruby will finally see, okay, it'll take out all these comments and okay, Ruby will see something like this. Okay, so it'll remove all the comments, right? First, let me remove it for you. I'm just doing manually what Ruby does automatically. So, okay, so, and only this stuff is being will be interpreted by Ruby interpreter. Okay, so it's intelligent enough to ignore comments and run your program, right? So that's the thing. So the same thing, the say hello with comments will work the same, right? Say hello with comments. Okay, so I just it'll just say hello Karthik, right? So that's the thing, right? So it will work the same and all those things. Okay, so and there is a thing called multi-line comments. So you can put it between this thing, begin and end. Okay, so like so you can just rather than giving a hash sign uh, every time, you can just put something like begin, begin and end. Okay, right? So this will be a comment block and it will be removed. Okay, so that's the thing. And you can intend this and all those stuff. Why it's not getting intended? Okay, fine. Okay. Okay, right. I think I need to use Atom because TextMate is not behaving the way I wanted it to. Okay, yeah. Editor is your personal choice. Okay, so this is a block comment and all those things. But if you move this over here, no, this won't be interpreted as block comments. You can't do this thing. It should start in the first column, right? So that's the thing. This begin and end should start in the first column, right? Only then it will be interpreted as comments. And yeah, you can run say hello once again and say hello with comments, and still the same thing will happen. Comments are meant for the programmers or programmers after the initial programmer to read it and all those stuff, right? So that's the thing. Uh, yeah, so this is comments and all those stuff. Yeah, so that's it for this video. In next video, we'll see about comparison and logic and all those stuff. Okay, so yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching. Do subscribe and whatever it is, and so that like you, if you want to receive those videos as soon as I upload in this channel, right? Yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.